This is Genesis chapter 19, Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed. This is one of the stories that in the Bible that I've heard the most. And I've read it before when I was younger, so we're going to read it again. I think this is where she turns to salt. Don't look back, always look forward to God. Okay. And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot said in the gate of Sodom, and Lot seeing them rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with the face toward the ground. And he said, Behold now, my lords, in turn, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your way. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast. And he baked unleavened bread, and they did eat. Unleavened bread is bread without yeast. I've been practicing making this. It's basically like pita bread. It's really good. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compressed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And Lot went out the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have 2 daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing. For therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. And they said, Stand back. And they said again, This one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them. And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. They really wanted in. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so they were wearied themselves to find the door. And the men said unto Lot, Hast thou here any besides? Sons-in-laws, and they sons, and they daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxen great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord hath sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-laws, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get out of this place, for the Lord will destroy the city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-laws. And when the morning arose, the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife, and thy 2 daughters which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth aboard, and he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, O not so, my lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast shewed unto me in saving my life, and I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me, and I die. Behold, now the city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. O let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live. And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, and I will not overthrow the city, for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither. Therefore The name of the city was called Zor. So they're escaping to Zor. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zor. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. And he overthrew those cities, and all the plain, and all the inhabitants of the cities, and that which grew upon the ground. Okay, I just want to point out, a lot of people say that God is a wrathful God and that he killed lots of people. But if you read the whole thing, it started out with saying like they were trying to find good people in the city, but everyone in the city was doing horrible things and being really bad and completely turning from God and just dwelling in the sins of flesh, like rape, murder, theft. Like it was bad. Everyone was doing really, really bad. And God gave time after time, okay, go find somebody good and I'll spare the city so that good person doesn't get killed. But that never happened. They didn't find anyone really good except for Lot and his family, which were instructed and helped to leave the city. I mean, if I had a pond of goldfish and they were all just killing each other, yeah, I might start over too. Yeah, it's a really bad metaphor. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. That's so funny that that's where I stopped to talk, because that was the verse that I was looking for. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain, and the inhabitants of the cities, and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abraham got up early in the morning to the place where he stood before the Lord, and he looked toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and toward all of the land of the plain, and beheld, and lo, the smoke of the country went up as the smoke of a furnace. And it came to pass, when God destroyed the cities of the plain, that God remembered Abraham and sent out Lot out of the midst of the overthrow, when he overthrew the cities in which Lot dwelt. Okay, so that's really long, so we're going to stop there. The next one, we'll talk about the sin of Lot's daughters. Ooh, I remember this story too. Okay.